Hey guys, Marsing in here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to take a look at the new LR Goku Fusion ZAMASU. In fact, let me not talk through this.
I am justice given form. I am the world. Now worship. Venerate the most noble, splendid, immortal, and supremely powerful god, ZAMASU.
Yeah, that animation looks awesome. I thought the Vegeta and Trunks one was going to go off first because they were showing up first on the wheel, and then I realised that obviously they don't have a bond of parent and child unit on rotation, so their intro animation did not go off. So we're going to be taking a look at our boy here, Fusion ZAMASU, the newest LR on Global. This is the 55% showcase. If you guys watched my summon video earlier, you obviously saw I did manage to pull a copy of him. In typical fashion, I did some summons off screen after the stream. Did get a Whis animation. So I think in total I'm at about 1,300 stones or something on the banner with 2 copies. Any more stones we get throughout the celebration, I might go back in for that second dupe, but obviously there's some big stuff potentially coming. A lot of people have covered it already. I haven't had time in my schedule today before work, so I might do a video breaking down all the details tomorrow. But it seems very likely now at this point that we are getting some kind of superhero New Year's thing. So that does make me a little bit more wary about going all in on this banner. So, Fusion ZAMASU, he is a leader for Worldwide Chaos or Patara for 4 key and 150%. You know, typical yellow coin LR, not having the best leader skill, unfortunately. He greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, does colossal damage, lowers attack on his 12 key, and then greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, mega colossal, and greatly lowers attack on his 18 key. So the fact that he greatly raises defense on both supers is obviously really, really good. Now his passive is an absolute, look at this, like a mini novel. So shout out to the new Dokkan wiki. I think is it Thieving 6? It's Dokkan.wiki. Breaks it down into bullet points rather than just one super long passive. So he has the entrance animation and gets an additional 1 key per key sphere obtained for 5 turns when there is another Patara ally in the same turn on his first turn. That's obviously super beneficial because this unit does kind of rely on getting his 18 key super in order to be at his maximum potential. So getting extra key per orb is really good. He does also randomly change key spheres of a certain type to int. He gets attack and defense 100% and 20% damage reduction. He gets 50% attack and defense when performing a super. And then the key part here is he launches an additional super attack when performing an ultra super. So as long as you get his 18 key super, he does a guaranteed 12 key super afterwards. And then if you get 24 key, he has attacks effective against all types. So obviously imagine in that turn where he's getting guaranteed double supers and they're effective against all types. Definitely very good. He also picks up an extra 2% damage reduction with each hit he takes within the turn up to 10%. That might not seem like a lot, but if he's getting super attacked as like the 5th attack as opposed to the 1st from some of these big red zone bosses, you are going to notice a significant difference. So he also gets 1 extra key permanently every time he receives 5 attacks, and that can happen 5 times. He gets 10% HP recovered at the end of the turn that he receives 5 attacks, and then he has a 70% chance to counter unarmed super attacks. So we're going to go ahead and play out this first turn here. Well, we can get the 24 key super straight off the bat. We've got the support from this AGL Goku Black. So we have Dismal Future, Fierce Battle, Nightmare, and Legendary Power. Obviously, one thing to bear in mind, as always, with these extreme units that have big bad bosses, until big bad bosses at level 10, we're not going to have that active. So that makes a significant difference because he's sitting at 130k defense. So he would be looking at an extra 25% on top of that, which puts him well over 150, like 160, 170 range. And that's before supering, as we already said, in which he greatly raises defense on both super attacks. So obviously against this first phase, against the Tech Shadow Dragon, wouldn't be expecting him to take a lot of damage here at all anyway. But we'll see what we can get here. We got the support from the AGL Goku Black. So ZAMASU should be looking pretty decent. ZAMASU does actually get the 200% leader skill from Vegeta and Trunks as well. I made a mistake in the Summon or Skip video when I talked about it because he is on Battle of Fate. So 5.8 million. Now, when you consider he gets a guaranteed additional super, that's pretty decent. Jumps, 3.7 on the 12 key. And he's greatly raised his defense twice. So, pretty solid looking defense now. On top of also having the 20% damage reduction. Is pretty good for him. And again, this is at 55%. His links are all like 2 and 3. I think I ran one of the link level like quest stages with him like twice. Actually, how many? No, it was 3 times, because after doing the summon stream, I had a full set of boosts, so I just used all of those on one of the link level stages quickly. So he hasn't had a lot put into him. Obviously, I'm going to be trying to get him to 10 as quickly as possible as we take him into some of these other harder events. I should have turned this off, because now we're going to get all of the entrance animations play. But yeah, the unfortunate thing about this ZAMASU is he is in a similar spot to the Goku Black units that we've been talking about recently, that whilst he has a 200% lead, none of the other Goku Black units do. They're the units that you want to run around him. LR, Goku Black and ZAMASU, who are going to get their Easy A next week. They obviously are a super, super good link partner for him. They don't get the 200% lead. So he's in a bit of a weird spot where this is his best team on Global at the moment, because he gets the 200% lead. All of his link partners are on there. He's a slot 2 unit, and obviously this team is anchored by a very, very good slot 1 unit, right? Having a Vegeta and Trunks on both rotations. The only problem that is going to raise once we actually do get the Easy A for Tech, Goku Black and ZAMASU, and obviously we'll be doing videos with them next week once we get their Easy A, is that the way they're designed is that, like, LR, Goku Black and ZAMASU want to be in slot 1, and then this guy wants to be in slot 2. So then that leaves you with a spare Vegeta and Trunks, who you don't really want taking loads of hits in slot 3, where they're not going to have guard after the first 5 turns. So you can see here, with no support, we have 100k defense. Well, we're just under 110. We only have 3 links up. So on Super, we obviously jump up to 150 from our passive, or just over. Then we're also getting the 50% raise from the super attack effect. So we're somewhere between 250 and 300k defense after supering. Not the craziest amount of defense, obviously. But bear in mind, again, this is 55%, not link leveled. Doesn't have a big bad boss's link partner. We've got no support. So obviously this is not the best turn for him. And I feel like that is probably his biggest issue on Global at the moment, is if you want to run him against some of these big red zone bosses. Like, I think I'm pretty happy with the performance we've seen from the recent videos. STR Rose is definitely a unit that you can run, that can kind of hold his own and help support ZAMASU and get all those extra links active and stuff. But other than that, he's kind of missing out on some really big partners. So we'll see how that improves with the LR Easy A. Look at that, he gets the level 5 dodge. So normal attack he tanks to double digits, and then the super, yeah, see, 200k. Things like support and big bad bosses are obviously going to make a huge difference when it comes to eating those kind of attacks. But I mean, at the same time, to be fair, he is a 55% unit type disadvantage. When we were doing some of the heroes unit showcases, is it Xeno Pan takes like 500k from this guy's super attack. So obviously int units are always going to take way more damage, but I mean, ZAMASU with around 300k defense, 20% damage reduction, 200k from a physical super attack at 55% is not the worst thing in the world. Obviously, the Shadow Dragon stage is not the hardest stage, though. So, you know, if that exact situation had played out with that exact rotation and that was a super attack from the Metal Cooler Core, then we would be dead. So, obviously, you know, there are some units in the game that can stand up to tanking the hardest hitting bosses with type disadvantage, although usually it's because those units have guard or some ridiculously high amount of damage reduction. So I'm not going to hold it too much against ZAMASU to take that kind of damage from a type disadvantage super, especially given this rotation, right? 3 links active, no big bad bosses. Does make a pretty big difference. So I think, though, we should be under the HP threshold to actually have big bad bosses active for him on the next turn. So he is obviously going to look significantly better on the next turn. I don't want to pick up too much ki, because I want to make sure we're still getting that link. Oh, of course. So I guess, of course he has to be on this low HP. Man, this sucks, because I could get the finishing blow for you as well. I think for the sake of, like, the rest of the run, let's go ahead and do this. So, we'll get the finishing blow with STR Rose, because that helps him out pretty significantly. Floating off Vegeta and Trunks is not really ideal, but we'll have to go ahead and float off the one on the next rotation as well. Try and get things back into sync before it gets a little bit too hairy, but couldn't really pass up that situation. So, plus, unless they get supered, they're not going to die here. They'll take a decent chunk of damage. I'm just going to avoid picking up same type orbs wherever possible, and then we can build up these guys without taking away from getting big bad bosses active with ZAMASU. In fact, who was the other unit that got floated off? Was it? Oh, it was AGL Goku Black, wasn't it? So next turn we're going to have the double Goku Black rotation. So, not really a super good unit in slot 1. However, ZAMASU is going to have double support and big bad bosses. So, ZAMASU is going to look pretty good on the next turn. Good enough that we can just leave him in slot 1, I imagine. And unless he takes a super, he's not really going to be taking like crazy damage. So, next turn, ZAMASU should be looking pretty good. I should have avoided picking up too much ki with the gods as well, because I don't really want this rotation to do too much damage. Fortunately, Vegeta and Trunks, by not being in slot 1, they're not getting that extra 70% attack and defense. So obviously their attack stat not insanely high on this turn. Right, yeah, don't get additional supers. Perfect. Alright, so let's see what our boy is looking like now. Yeah, a lot of links going to be active here. So do they share the same ones? I'm assuming they do. Yeah. We can't... Are you actually kidding me? I can't get an 18 key super unless I do this. Man, we are not getting the best luck here. I could have... I guess I could have gone for the... You know what? I want to see his attack more than I want to see his defense. So let's pop a Whis here. And then grab these. And then hopefully this doesn't put us above Big Bad Boss's range. Perfect. Because, yeah, AGL Goku Black shouldn't finish off Oceanus here. Dodge. Okay, we'll take that. 3.7. I think my AGL Goku Black has like 2 dupes, I think. Alright, perfect. Alright, let's see, ZAMASU. What are we looking at here? 7.5. Now, obviously, this is not a very realistic rotation, right? For, like, Red Zone bosses having the double Goku Black rotation. But 7.5, and then the guaranteed additional that is essentially 5 million. So, I should have checked his start of turn defense, but I did bring up the menu to look at the Goku Black, so you would have been able to spot it. Some eagle-eye person can let me know in the comments what his defense actually was this turn, pre-super. But then remember, he's getting 50% on top of that, and then 2 50% raises from his actual super attack effect as well. So all in all, very, very powerful. In fact, let's go ahead and, if I do this... I've got a Whis active still, so I don't really need to worry too much. Oh, of course, I've got these all turned on. So, one thing, of course, I forgot to mention that we should end the video with is ZAMASU does have an active skill. Now, at 55% with no good skill orbs, I should have explained at the beginning, but I have no good additional skill orbs, which is why mine doesn't have an additional skill orb at the moment. Hopefully, when we get the chain battle rewards tomorrow, I actually get a decent additional for him to go in the silver slot. But he does have an active skill, which is the Lightning of Absolution. Massively raises attack temporarily, does ultimate damage, and stuns the enemy for 1 turn. He can launch this after performing 5 or more super attacks. So what that means is, if you have him at 55% and you don't have additional skill orbs, he gets the guaranteed additional super if you get an 18 key, but he can't get a 3rd one. So on his first appearance, he'll do 2 supers. His second appearance, he'll do 2 supers. And then on the 3rd appearance, this is going to be like turn, 5 at this point. Then he's going to get the attack that will fulfill the condition for his active skill. So At 55% without the chance of getting any extra additionals, you can't use his active skill until turn 7. Now, if you do have some additional in him, through either dupes or skill orbs, you only need to get that additional super either on his first turn or his second turn, and then the active skill will be available on his 3rd appearance. As long as you've got the 18 key super, obviously, on all those previous ones, so that you've got the guaranteed second super. Because bear in mind, it is performing super attacks, not attacks. So if you're not able to super like he does an additional normal, that obviously doesn't count towards it. So, but we should have it active now. Yeah, here we go. So let's go ahead and play out his active skill here.
The time has come to open the earth and wash everything away. Rejoice, for the world of God is at
I feel like he's just talking to the little shining dragon.
absolution.
Lightning of Absolution. Now, remember, it's not one of those active skills where he gets a guaranteed crit. So, obviously, there is the possibility that you're not going to do, like, crazy damage with it. But, I mean, 4 million for a 55%, that's not terrible. Will they finish him off here? I feel like they will. But let's do this anyway. So, yeah, I think he gets... Because the active skill is triggers those, like, when super attacking parts of a passive, don't they? So, that's what he looks like with that 50% from his passive kicked in, but without the effects from his super attack effect. So, he is sat with some pretty comfortable defense on top of 20k damage reduction. When you've got him like this. So I think overall, I have to say, at 55%, I do think he is pretty decent. He is a unit that I feel... it sounds weird to say this, right? Because every unit is better with dupes, obviously. But Fusion ZAMASU is one of those units that gets incredibly better by getting that first dupe. Not only getting the extra stats, but for your first dupe, I would obviously just go full additional. So he'd be at, what, 9 additional, 3 crit. And then getting that 3rd super... against some of these tougher bosses, he's going to look really, really good. He's going to get that active skill earlier. He's going to have very good defense on that triple super turn. So this unit definitely much, much better after the getting dupes. Shame that he doesn't have a KO screen. I don't know if his active skill has one, but bit of a shame there is no KO screen. But his art as well is definitely up there as like some of the best art for LRs. I love the flaming city background effect that like it cycles into. So there you go, that is the 55% showcase for LR Fusion ZAMASU. I'm going to go ahead and feed in my dupe for the upcoming videos. Obviously we're going to try them out against Cell Max and various red zone bosses. I probably won't go too crazy pulling for dupes before I record all of those videos, so they're basically all going to be with a 69% ZAMASU, but we'll have to see what comes in the next couple of weeks. But let me know your thoughts down below. Hopefully if you did summon, you got lucky. And let me know your favourite build to run this ZAMASU on at the moment on Global. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.